Lindsay, President Biden's trip to Ukraine has been well received from those San Diegans, those Ukrainian Americans, really. Many of them say they believe President Biden when he says he's going to try and build and continue a relationship with the Ukrainian people. A couple hours ago, we spoke with a family here, a mom who is living in Ukraine and came here to visit her son. I asked her what it's like living currently in a war-torn country.
I'm actually, even before the war, I live half of year there, half of year here, because there is my mom. She's 92. I have to take care of her together with my sister, and here is my grandchildren and son. So I kind of live 50-50, yes, all the time. I came in November. I'm going back in April to Ukraine.
A lot of people are going to be wondering about your safety. How are you doing? How are you and your family holding up there? And then also, how are you able to commute back and forth between the United States and Ukraine safely?
You know, I trust in God and in His protection for me. And actually, our people not afraid. Our people just fighting for freedom, fighting for their victory, and hoping in future very quick victory over that. So I'm not afraid. And I didn't meet many people who is actually scared there.
And Paul, let me ask you, this is your mother. You know that she's in the middle of a war-torn country. How fearful are you for her, knowing that she's thousands of miles away?
Sadly, this is often the reality that many families have to deal with. So my grandmother, my mother's mother, lives in Ukraine. She's in her 90s, but her spirit is great and her health is quite well as well. I have a lot of cousins, a lot of family members, and we're all doing the best we can, sharing apartments, supporting each other financially, and even providing information to each other.
And your reaction to President Biden's surprise visit today?
I couldn't be more proud to be a Ukrainian American, to be honest. I was really surprised by this today. As you know, it was a surprise visit. I know a lot of it is for security purposes. And the reality is we live in the times where we have dictators that are looking to essentially establish empires by very violent attacks of their neighbors. So we have two choices what we can do, right? We can just kind of ignore it and let the next generation deal with the consequences of these dictators, brutally murdering people around them, or we can really stand up for what is right, what is justice, and put an end to this.
And we've been speaking with many San Diegans who believe the president's trip will actually have a really big impact on the war. One of them is UC San Diego professor who talks about the symbolism of it.
The United States is now allied with Ukraine. Now, it's not formally or legally obliged to aid Ukraine in the war, but the president's personal reputation is now firmly planted in Kyiv. And that's a really important statement. What Biden's visit to Kyiv does is it cements that support. It says that his personal and presidential authority is backing that long, hard slog.
And we've had a wide variety of reaction to the president's visit today. Professors you just heard from, lawmakers, even people here in San Diego or people from Ukraine who are visiting. Our coverage is going to continue tonight at 11 with ABC 10 News reporter Madison Wale. For now, we're going to send it back to you in the studio, Lindsay.